Today, let's talk about milk steaming, one of the biggest problems for beginner baristas. Now, over the years, I've seen a lot of beginner baristas always struggle to get a nice silky texture. Today, I'll walk you through the easiest way you can achieve great results. Now, so keep in mind that when we steam milk, many baristas try to understand a particular machine. For me, that is a very big problem. From my experience, it is important for you as a beginner barista to understand the technique. Why? Because we do have different machines out there. We have dual boiler machines, heat exchange machines, single boiler machines, and all these machines do deliver pressure differently. Again, some machine will produce high steam pressure, some produce low, some produce medium. So if you really understand the technique, then it will be a great way for you to start your milk steaming journey. So the very first thing I'll establish here, it is the milk level. The level where you put your milk will determines if you have a successful milk steaming or not. So if you want to purchase this thing or espresso machine, maybe you need a rent machine, or you're a business owner, you have no idea, you want to start up a coffee shop, you want to queue coffee, there'll be a great help to you because they'll walk you through the kind of machine you need, the kind of equipment you need in your bar, as well as the process. Thanks so much, Q Coffee, for the great job you're doing. Below the spout here is the guide. Below the spout here is the guide. If the milk is above the spout, you have high chances that the milk will spill out. And I'll explain. When we steam milk, basically we introduce air, we do some air injection, and then we integrate the air. So if we inject some air, definitely the volume will increase. And when the volume increases, the milk may spill out. Again, if you're a professional barista or someone already into the industry for a very long time, it's easy to manage that situation. But for beginner barista, it will be a problem. As well as if the milk is right down, it is really hard to have that nice vortex. So it's important for you as a beginner barista to understand the level where you put your milk, irrespective of the pitcher you're using. Now you have different milk jug or different pitchers out there because we also have different coffees like cappuccino, latte, flat white, cortado, you name it. So the fact that you are making cortado, then you use a bigger pitcher, then you say, oh no, because I use this big pitcher, I should put the milk just below. Because no, use the right pitcher for your coffee. The next thing, it is your milk preservation. Always try as much as possible for your milk to be inside the chiller. The colder your milk is, the more time you have to do the process. Over the years, I've seen some baristas, after steaming their milk, they will take their pitcher and put on top the cup warmer. For me, it is not ideal because the cup warmer, it is already warm. So by the end of the situation, if you need to steam your milk again, then you have shorter time to do the process. Maybe by the end of the thing, you not have the nice silky texture because you have, maybe you introduce the air, but to integrate the air, you not have that time to do that. Because again, when we steam milk, we always target around 55 to 65 degrees Celsius. Purge your steam one. Purging the steam one, it is really important. Now, when steam cools, the water goes back to the machine. When the water goes back to the machine, if you need to steam your milk again, then that water will come inside your milk and it will be a problem. So it's important to always purge to have clearance, to remove any condensation that was built in the one. One of the biggest problems, it is for you to position the steam one inside the pitcher. Here, there's a lot of technique going on. First of all, you want to pull your steam one and you want to place the steam one should lie inside the spout. The steam one should be at the center of the pitcher. As you can see, this is the center right here. And you want to make sure that the steam one should be just barely below the surface of the milk. Just barely below the surface of the milk. It should not be right down. It should not be right up. If it's right down, you will hear this dry sound. Now, this machine produces dry steam air. So when you close the hole, the machine cannot release that air. And again, if you expose too much, you have that small foam and then you cannot control. So it's important to keep in mind. So when you place the steam one inside the pitcher at the center, just barely below the surface of the milk, you want to go either left or right depending on your position. Let's say I chose this position. When you choose the position, you want to tilt the cup on one side. Now here is really technical. If it's right at the wall of the pitcher, then you have problems as well because you also close the hole. So it's important for you to know exactly the exact position to put or to tilt your cup. Most of the time, beginner baristas, they always care to activate the full steam pressure. Now, you should keep in mind that the higher the pressure, the easier you have that silky texture. For example, beginner baristas, they open the steam one half and then you hear this sound like this. Again, the pressure cannot really mix the milk. You cannot have that nice voltage. So it's important to always activate your steam one full. But again, keep in mind that becoming a professional barista, you can easily manipulate with that situation, especially when you have machine that is having really high pressure, because some machines do have high pressure. Another thing here is when you activate your steam one, you want to hear that it sound like. Many baristas or many people do ask, like, how long should I introduce the air? How many seconds? Here, some people do recommend 5 seconds, 8 seconds, 10 seconds. For me, I can't really recommend a certain time because different machines do have different pressures. The way the machine releases the pressure, it is really different. And also the way you place your pitcher. Now you place it this way and the next time you place it this way. So all these things do have different reactions. For me, what you need to know, it is for you to understand the amount of air that you definitely need to put in that particular milk, depending on the coffee you're making. We have cappuccino, latte, flat white, you name it as well. So for my recommendation, if you need to start the process, it's important, number one, to understand that you need to use your ears, your eyes, your feelings, because there's a lot of things you need to put in consideration for you to achieve that nice silky texture. Now, how you do it, especially when you have your instructor, the person walking you through the process. Now, for you to know the exact texture always, now the first time he or she will do it, okay, this is the right texture, you need to keep that information. The second time, the third time, the fourth time, then you need to keep that particular information, because what I'm sharing right now, it is okay, it is fine, but there will be some limitation, especially for you to get that right amount of air to pull, because like I said before, we do have different machines. Some machine will produce high steam pressure. When it comes to milk steaming as well, especially machine you have never used before, when you start the steaming process, always hear that dry sound. It means, like I said before, just put it just barely below the surface of the milk. It is okay, it is fine. But again, for me, when you start the steaming process, always try as much as possible to take it right down. When you start your steaming up, or you start the pressure, or you start the steaming process, always hear that dry sound first. Then you start to bring your milk jug slowly down. When you bring it slowly down, you need to listen to the sound. This is really important because you bring in the right air, you have the full control. But if you expose it too much, you have more air, or maybe you put it just barely below the surface of the milk. But this machine do have high pressure. Just one time you have more bubbles. So it's important to always put the steam one right down, and then you start to bring it down slowly to introduce the air by yourself. When you get the right amount of air, stay there, or when you get in more coming, then you take it slowly up back to close the holes. Now it's important to take. Now some people, they start the steaming process and then they go up and down. You always have that bad milk steaming. So when you start your steaming process, stay there, listen for some few seconds. You get, if maybe the position is the best position, maybe it is not the best position, but always listen, because it is important for you to know. Now, when you steam your milk, after your steaming, you always need to clean your steam one. You clean your steam one because it is really important, and you give like a one push there. You heat the milk just one time to remove any bubbles, and then you swirl the milk to mix the upper layer with the downer part, so everything will be consistent when you do your pouring. Most importantly, it is your milk temperature. The milk temperature is really important because when we steam milk, at a certain degree, the milk starts to break down. So the window here is around 55 to 65 degrees Celsius. But again, as you work in coffee shop, people really want extra hot. It is okay. It is fine. You can go extra hot, whatever thing you want to do. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. For now, I'll say thanks so much for watching and hope you have a great day.